We've got questions today, but you're offering a new language for attachment styles that's easy to understand. And so I'm going to just kind of give you the floor for just a moment just to talk about and introduce our listeners to landscapes of the soul.
Yeah, so we did it Landscapes of the Soul because I know that when I first started reading about attachment, and we've talked to several other people who have similar experiences, the language can get kind of confusing if you're not clinically trained. So the reason we went with landscapes is because it's an easier idea to try to understand that we end up living in different landscapes. So I have all the tools and strategies to survive in a jungle, but maybe someone else has all the tools and strategies to survive in a desert. And we're going to approach the same situation, the same relationships entirely differently because we have these default survival strategies that we're using. And that happens in our relationship with God. It happens in our relationship with other people. It even happens in the ways that we interact in our own self. So we decided to go with landscapes because it's easier to understand than some of the other terms that you run across when you read about attachment. Geoff, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, just to map on for the people who know the attachment language, the jungle is what we would call the anxious attachment, where if you think of a jungle, there's vibrant life all around you. You know, you maybe can't see very far, and there's wonderful sounds. There's amazing creatures, things that wow you, but also things that can kill you in a moment's notice. So you always have to be on your guard. You have to be ready because you could find something amazing in a second, but you could also like slip and fall down a waterfall. And so that image then suggests all sorts of strategies or a way of surviving and thriving in a jungle. And that would be like the jungle of anxiety, which is based and focused on relationships primarily. Then you also have the landscape of a desert where it's dry and it's hot and things don't change that much. And you can see really far, and every day it's really, really hot. And every day water is very, very scarce. It's a pattern that you can rely on, and you can plan your life around it being hot and needing to conserve water. So you do, and you have all these rules that you follow, because if you don't follow your rules, then something bad is going to happen. And that suggests its own kind of survival strategies. There's also a third kind of insecure attachment strategy of the war zone, which is often it's called a fearful attachment or disorganized attachment, where the people that were supposed to help you also ended up being people that harmed you. So you were kind of afraid of the people you were supposed to be close to. And so that creates all sorts of conflicts too. Call that the war zone that was kind of outside that then becomes internalized. Then, of course, the good pasture is that the secure attachment, we use the image of Psalm 23 that Jesus, the good shepherd, is leading us into the pasture where we don't lack anything. And so that's the place where we can live out of love bonds rather than the other three landscapes, which are just different kind of versions of living out of fear bonds. So that's how we think about those landscapes and use the less clinical language. We've been really blessed that a lot of clinicians as well as practitioners have said, you know, this is the easiest way to explain attachment to people, and they're handing it to clients as a way to explain attachment. So that's been really encouraging.